Hey, what's up, Rob? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Joey. We can't see you.
There I am. All right. Let's see who's here today. Okay. We got, hey, what's up, Rob? How are you? And then we got, I don't think Rob can hear me, maybe. Pete, good seeing you. Javier. I was hoping to see Osvaldo today because I know I wanted to talk to him a little bit. I've seen him in the last couple of sessions. Hyde looks like he's doing a promo.
He does.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Are you doing a promo, brother?
Are you going to a concert?
Fuck, right?
Hey, look what I got. I got a guest.
Big Hoss. Hey, I'm telling you, man. Robby, you said, hey, I'm just as surprised as you to see a beer in Robby's hand. You know what I mean? But, hey, Robby would outlast the rock stars on the tour bus. I'm telling you straight out. He'd sit there with his beer right there, and he'd be like, hey, Rob, come on, let's go. I'm good. Hey, Rob, you all right? I'm good. Leave me alone. All right, Rob. Oh, but yeah, Robby, hey, Rob, did you tell him about getting yelled at for shooting the sipping whiskey?
No, I was about to tell him actually when you came on. So we were on tour one time, on the bus, right?
Yeah.
And they gave us this whiskey, and I guess it's an expensive whiskey or whatever. They're the rock stars, and so they gave us all a cup of the shot, and we cheers, and they all sipped, and I shot it.
Yeah.
I'm half Mexican. I shot that motherfucker, and the bassist looks up. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing? That's sipping whiskey." I'm like, "Oh shit, sorry."
Oh man, yeah, but you wouldn't understand. This guy was so offended that Robby shot this shit, and he was like, "Hey, dude, I'm from East LA, man. That's how we do it."
Yeah. Like you said, cheers. It was time to shoot it.
Yeah, I never drank so. There was so much free beer when we
Yeah.
went on tour with this rock band. There was free beer. You know what? I didn't drink beer until I went on tour. Now I drink beer regularly, Robby, and wine.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, I remember.
You, man.
I remember you didn't drink wine until that wine came in.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. So, but
I still couldn't get the taste for it. I would do it for wine time, but I couldn't wrap my taste around it. The beer, yeah.
Well, there's you can get beer drunk, whiskey drunk, but then I'm drunk on wine. You know what I mean? Yeah, totally. I dig it, man. I dig it. So I never thought I would, but yeah, I became a wine guy, a legit one. So.
Yep.
How you been, man?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah, just working like crazy.
Good. Hitting the workout. Are you hitting the workouts too?
Been working out at the gym. I started at this week, and I've been going hiking almost every weekend.
Hey, you know what Mongo would say? The gym my ass, Jim's Burgers.
Right?
No, I've been.
Oh, good seeing you. Good seeing you, Haas.
You too.
So, so Rob, I was talking to these guys about promos on Monday. Just kind of, I didn't do any promos for them. I just kind of broke it down, telling them the pointers, any pointers that I had, and I kind of went through all my pointers. So I kind of like, if you have something that you want to bring up, I'll do some of. I just like to talk to some of these guys before we start. But if you want to think about some of the promos. Like I had the bullet points, tell a story, never memorize your line.
Yes.
Just all those things that just to try to help them. And then today we're actually gonna, obviously if you want to talk some on it, I definitely want to have you talk on it. And then, but today I'd actually like to do some promos. And I see Hyde is ready to rock and roll. And then we'll just kind of go from there. And I think the best thing about it is we'll all do it. First of all, it's nerve-wracking as hell. But then we're all here to critique it, and I think that's just going to really just help people out tremendously, because I don't know about you. Maybe you could tell your experience about promos, but I was telling them about, like, I was god-awful, man. Like, I would say I'm actually great compared to who I was. I'm not great by any means in the wrestling world, but oh my God, they used to have like a Mean Gene guy, and they would interview me, and I would sit on the couch because I was so nervous, and I would give them one word answers. They're trying to get you to talk. The announcer guy just wants to say one thing and then let the wrestler go. And I would say like yes, no, like yeah, it was awful, and just kind of just told them my story about how trying to get better at it and just getting comfortable with cutting promos. I don't even know if I'm still comfortable with cutting promos. I think my best promos have ever come, especially the last ones I've done. It's like at Santino Brothers shows, has just been. I was talking to him about utilizing stuff that happens in real life. Like, so the promos that I've been doing have been like based upon, Ray Rosas and getting kicked out of the dojo, and then he's coming back. And so I think I went in there with something to say, but at the same time, I think the emotion more takes over and the realness of the promo, as opposed to like, I don't think about any more about like trying to have cool lines to say. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but I know that like when I cut promos, I'm trying to, I'm looking at the lighting. All these chairs need to be pushed back some. Is the ring straight? How's the ropes? So I'm thinking about everything and everything else. And sometimes the last thing I'm thinking about is the promo, So I feel that my last couple of promos have been good. I don't think I've shit the bed, because there's sometimes I'll watch a promo and I'll cringe when it's cringe when I watch it. And so, but yeah, so if you have any experiences with promos.
Some of my earlier promos were always, man, as soon as they said you got to cut a promo, I went from joking around the locker room to, oh shit, I don't know what to say, And then they're like, all right, well, this is what we need you to say. These are the bullet points. I'm like, all right. So I'm trying to remember bullet points, not really trying to remember or try to remember lines or what am I going to say. I'm just, okay, these are the bullet points. I got to make sure I mention this. Got to make sure I mention that. And I'd go and cut the promo, and
Looks like you got muted. His mic went mute.
He was muted, huh?
I was just always just try to get it over with, man. And it was like, then they were like, all right, that was cool. Like, it was good enough. But you could tell the look in their face wasn't what they wanted. And it's like, all right, man, thank you. All right, cool, yeah. And then it wasn't like same thing with you. It wasn't until like when I started getting to Santino's and we started, filming these promos, and it was like, okay, I'm doing this thing with Jake, or I'm doing this thing with Brody or whoever. And it was, okay, now I could throw some heart and feeling into it. And I think also what also helped me is at some point in my career, like I wanted to be able to cut good promos and be able to talk to crowds and not just be like, say my quick stuff and get it done and hope I get a pop or hope I get a, hey, good job. And I started watching stand-up comedy, and I would see how they, how they would interact with the crowd and all that. And so, that's what I would do to kind of like break the ice. If I would start talking and maybe an audience member would say something, I would turn to them and say, hey, shut up, I'm trying to talk here. And then of course the crowd's like, hey, they start laughing like, all right, now the ice is broken. Let me say what I got to say.
I've never heard that. You watch stand-up comedy. I mean, I think that's really good, because there's so much different type of stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? There's some people that are just jokey. There's some people that are actually serious. They all have different tones, Yeah, that's really good, man. I got to try that, so. But right, like you talked about being good enough, right? Like, man, like, right, we don't want to be good enough either. Like, we gotta excel. Like, so that's the whole point, on trying to do these promos. And, I think a lot of it really comes down to like, man, right? We can go through the pointers and everything, but it just really you got to grab your fucking balls and just fucking do it. You know what I mean? You got to have no fear, and you got to be ready to speak. And right, well, I was telling someone, I think I was telling Sylvia the other day, I was like, yeah, pro wrestlers are basically professional bullshitters. Like, you know what I mean? Yep. And that's what you got to do. So it's like, you always have to speak with confidence. You know what I mean? And just try to throw it out there. Like I was just saying, by having the ends of your promos, like, nowhere to cut it off. You know what I mean? Nowhere to treating it like a match, Rob.
Yes.
So, hey, we're messing up. or the crowd's not into it, the crowd's shitting on us. What do we do? Like, right, we can try to do more, or sometimes it's like, hey, dude, let's just get out of here. Let's take it
Yeah,
home.
let's just pick it
Yeah,
up. Let's take it home.
yes. Sometimes it just don't go right, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could stay out there all day, try to get it right and fix it, try to get it right and fix. Sometimes you just got to say that's it, let's wrap it up and go. So
Yeah.
same thing with a promo, where it's like if you have your end lined, like something like, right, that's the bottom line because Stone Cold says so. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, you know, I would have, mine was long, like my entrance. Like if you're laying on your back advertising the fact, like, so that was my thing. But just always should, like, you know, if you're going to cut a promo, have something to cut it off right then and there, right? You have to get your points across, obviously, but you're sometimes going to be cutting a promo and the guy's going to give you the, hey, go home. The good thing about promos, usually they're pre-taped, but not all the time. You know, hey, I'll tell you what, and you tell me, Robby, like, you get them luchadors. They're not even set for a promo that day. They grab that mic and then they're out there for like 20 minutes. And you know me, I'm trying to run the show. You know, we
Right.
had this problem with FCW at the Grand Olympic, but like you're always going to get that person that's going to tell you, hey, it's time to go. Because you might not think it's long at all, but man, in the grand scheme of things, with people watching it, sometimes it drags on. So if you see that, okay, get your fucking point across and hit your tagline. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but yeah, that's a good pointer. Any other pointers that you have for promos, Rob?
It just when you're talking, try to talk with emotion, with your feelings. Try to feel whatever it is they're trying to they want you to get across. Maybe it's not if it's a storyline, it's a little bit easier to act like, you know, you're pissed off at somebody or you're hurt with your partner or whatever is going on. But if it's not, you're not in a storyline and they just want you to cut this promo on this person you're about to wrestle, still it's believe in what you're saying and have emotion. You know, have emotion. I think it's a lot easier for you if you have emotion and you speak from the heart a little bit, and you won't struggle as much. That's one of the other things that kind of helped me. When I started speaking sort of from my heart and with emotion, it was a lot easier to get my point across and get what I was saying out, to where I started feeling confident. And then, you know, it was like, hey, Rob, we need you to cut a promo. Then it wasn't like, oh, fuck. It was like, all right, cool, let's go.
Hey, you see Rob put his head down when they said, hey, cut a promo. Oh, fuck. I'm telling you, if you're bad at promos, that's what it feels like. And, you know, and I've seen people go from shit promos to great promos. Like, you know what I mean? But a lot of it, like Robby's saying, it comes from that fucking heart. But it's kind of like a downer part in wrestling. And you don't want to get that starting that bullshit of getting your nerves rattled up before a match or before a promo. It just makes for a terrible day and a terrible time, because you start getting within your head on that, right? Because I just kind of noticed that when Rob said, oh, you got to cut a promo, you put your head down, because man, I remember doing that for sure, 100%. And then you see these guys, oh my, and it should eat you the fucking live if you see a guy cutting a promo like nobody's fucking business. Who was it? His name is Eli Drake, but what do we call Sean Ricker? Sean Ricker, oh my God, that guy was fucking great on the mic. He still is great on the mic, but I remember at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, it was like, Jesus Christ, I got to go on after this guy? What the fuck, man? But it should eat you the fuck alive if someone's better than you. You know what I mean? It should. Go back to Robby saying good enough, right? There was a saying, I listened to this motivational speaker. I was talking to one of you guys about this guy, Greg Plitt, and I said, oh, let me put Greg Plitt back on. And Greg Plitt says, you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? And he says, well, if it could be better, then it's as good as broken. And that's how you should feel if your promos aren't good enough, if your wrestling's not good enough, if you're announcing, referee work, whatever. That's how you should feel every single time, right? That's where that complacency comes in. So, like, if you're someone that's better than a fucking promo than you, it should eat your fucking heart out. And if you don't feel that way, man, it's going to be a rough time, because there's some people that are passionate, more passionate than you would ever believe. You know what I mean? And they love this business. And if you're not on that same level, man, it's real tough. It's real tough in pro wrestling. You know what I mean? So like I gotta, like, I just wanted to, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you on that, Robbie, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that, like, if someone's better than you on the man, on that mic, man, that should eat your fucking heart out. You want to be the best, right? It's that same thing about, like, what The Rock says, be the hardest worker in the room. Same thing, but the best promo in the room, best wrestler in the room, everything. Like, it should eat you alive. It should never be just fucking good enough. I'm sorry, Rob. What other tips do you have, man? I heard that, and I just kind of had to go off on it a little bit.
No, and that's exactly it. And you know, when I was explaining it, that's talking from the heart. I felt it, and I was like, fuck. That's why I put my head down. But yeah, we should just never ever, you know, feel like that kid in school again when the teacher calls you up to do the math problem or whatever, or to answer in front of the class, and you're just like, oh, I don't want to go up there, man. I don't want to look stupid. Think about this, guys. When you don't want to look stupid on cutting a promo, we're already rolling around with other dudes in oil and sweat in our fucking underwear. How much more stupid are you gonna look? Cut the fucking promo. You know, it helps you.
Hey,
You know?
yeah, sometimes you gotta just make it work. Like, you always got, usually on a tag team, you'll always notice on a fucking tag team, man, it's always like there's one guy that can talk and the other guy can't talk to save his fucking life. I wouldn't say to save his fucking life, but it's
That's me and Jesse.
I want to say, like, hey, oh yeah, you know, yeah, like Haas would say, but he'd say that one line, bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? And then fucking Jesse James would talk. Mustafa and New Jack, same thing. Mustafa would just start looking at the camera crazy and start laughing and giggling. You know what I mean? Always, I think, man, even Bret Hart and Anvil would just, you know, and laugh.
Nope.
You know, he'd have his, you gotta have your liners though. You can't be just have the one guy talk for you. Even if you have a manager, you gotta have something to say, you know? So, but I think that that also helps you to cut better promos, watching people's promos. That list that Pete gave, that was an incredible list. I watched, I don't know how many promos I watched. I mean, but there were still so many more left. I didn't even get a chance to get through it. But yeah, I mean, really, that's why I say, hey, you want to do this? And I say we could write everything down and we could teach you everything and give you these pointers, and man, grab your nuts and fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like, watch these promos, pick them apart over and over and over and over again, especially this. Like, I used to have my day. Sounds like we had to walk in the snow, Rob. But back in my day, like, man, like, we didn't have a whole playlist of just promo after promo after promo. And I really wasn't that deep tape guy that would probably, I'm pretty sure some guy made a little tape for it and said, these are all promos. You know, I saw my promos right before the match, and you watch your match promo if that you're lucky or not. But to have the opportunity to watch these promos, and it's, you know, and then you can go online and go and Google and say, what are the greatest pro wrestling promos of all time? And there's probably 10 different lists. Hey, those are all valid lists. So watch all 100 fucking videos, you know, and you're going to see the same repeat a couple of times. But yeah, start picking these apart and start understanding what these promos are. Like, if there's anybody here that hasn't seen a Hard Times promo, man, that's like, you gotta see it. Like, you can't be a wrestler and not see some of these promos. The 316 promo. You know which one I saw, Pete, when you put that list up, that CM Punk promo from Ring of Honor. I thought,
Yeah.
I've never seen it before. I have never seen that CM Punk promo where he talks about the snake and you stupid motherfucker, I'm a snake. That's why I bit you. Oh man, that was money, man. You know what I mean? And like, it is what you make it. Because I even looked at Ring of Honor, CM Punk at that time, right? And it was like, the crowd wasn't even as big as PCW. You know what I mean? PCW out here in California. Like, it is what you make it. And he's saying, like, this belt, I claim this belt as the #1 belt in North America or the world or something like that. And it was just like, you know, you got a couple of hundred people there. But man, what he says is, hey, that's law, bro. You know what I mean? But I thought that promo was great. So if you're not watching that promo from that list, that's why I left that one up on the alumni page. That list is still up there. Maybe we'll just put the list up itself alone, because those are just really good promos. Man, you know, it takes the thinking out of it. Just start going through it over and over and over. Anybody else watch those promos from that list? Anybody have a favorite promo they watched in the last couple of days?
Yeah, I was watching a lot of them. I was able to watch over 50 of them. And I love Macho Man. He's
Macho Man.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just
There's
his eyes are like popping out of his face, and his veins. There's this comment that I read where it says, Macho Man is what cocaine a human being would be.
You know, that you mentioned that one. One of my favorite ones is
Hey, sorry, boss man. House got to take off.
all right, Haas. Thank you for coming in, man. Good seeing you, brother. One of my favorite ones is Scary Sherry. There's the blue cage. They got the blue cage standing there, and it's Macho Man. And man, you would think those motherfuckers are on coke, as crazy as they're fucking acting. And I think you can even see in the promo. So they got this cage, and so you can basically, it's just a one-door cage, but the camera's not showing you that. They're just showing you straight on. And I think Macho Man's behind the cage cutting this promo, probably holding the cage up because nothing else is holding it up. And Scary Sherry is just going, right? Macho Man's doing his thing. Oh, Hogan, this, that. But Scary Sherry, if you watch this promo, she starts saying, you don't know where I'm going to be, Hulk Hogan. And she starts climbing the fucking cage, going all, and then she actually like tries to sneak under the camera and she doesn't go low enough. So you see her kind of creep by. And it's just like, this bitch is on coke, man. Like I'm telling you. But I think some of those crazy ass promos, just right, letting it out there and watching these promos, you know, it's so important to just go over it and just see the great ones do it. And the best part is we can watch these podcasts too, or excuse me, listen to these podcasts to see what's in Ric Flair's mind. There's even old podcasts of probably Dusty Rhodes out there, you know what I mean? Or just even interviews just to hear these guys talk, what's their thinking behind some of these promos, you know? So, but yeah, a lot of it is just, you got to find that motivation. So it's sometimes it starts a little slow. You know, I always thought just on the student level when Boogie came in, like Slice Boogie always had something really interesting to say. And he would kind of go up to you, like whoever it was, Robby or even Javi, and go like, hey, Javi, you like to play golf? Yeah, I do. Okay. So then he kind of utilizes you playing golf or whatever the fuck it is inside his promo. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's just going a step further, doing your research, you know what I mean? Understanding who you're cutting a promo about, you know, it really takes your promos a long way, you know, so really do some homework like that, you know, and it's like, no one's going to be on your ass. No one's going to tell you do this homework, man. Right? I'm telling you, you're going to cut promos. They're going to say, great. Yeah, they're not going to say, oh, that shit was terrible, do it again. You know, if they really care about you, they're going to tell you that shit was terrible, do it again. But, you know, if they're just trying to film for TV, hey, good, next promo, cool, because they're filming like 15 promos and, you know, an hour time span, and they just got to get it done. But you got to be on yourself about trying to get better at these promos. And it just takes you trying and attempting, right? Like I'm going to go back and say, hey, we can have these classes and I can tell you what to say and I can give you a list and you just got to get with it and just start listening to it, start studying it, being a student of that game, and teaching yourself how to do it. Really, that's what I find about the beauty of professional wrestling. It's kind of like even still, I've been in this business for 26 years, even still today, it's like the Wild West, man. You know what I mean? It really is. If you have a passion for this business, like no one can tell you what you can and can't do. You know, I see a lot of people, I tell some of my colleagues when they get mad at wrestling for whatever reason it is, and it's, see what I said, they get mad at wrestling. It's not mad at wrestling. They're mad at the person, you know, running this business part of wrestling, right? No one owns wrestling. You know, wrestling's right here in our heart, in our soul, in our mind. You know what I mean? So I think if you understand it that way and love it, the possibilities are endless. What you can do in this fucking business. Like, it is the Wild fucking West, man. Like, who's to tell me I can't promote shows? You know, who's to tell you can't promote fucking shows? You know what I mean? You got, right, you have to build about it, but it just takes you fucking grabbing your balls and fucking doing it, saying, this is what I want to do. Sticking to the fucking game plan of what you want to do. You know, so if you want to be a wrestler, right? Yeah, I get it. We're on pause. Cool. We're on pause right now because of COVID or whatever the case is. How else are you going to feed your fucking mind? How are you going to make it better? You know what I mean? Obviously, we can make it physically better, but how are we going to make our Ryans physically or mentally smarter? you know? So I want to really dig down deep. And like, I'm telling you, right? I mean, even the greatest promo guy can give you the greatest promo tips, but he can't, right? He can't do the promo for you. So it's gonna have to come fucking from within you. And I'm gonna tell you at first, doing these promos, you're gonna start them up, and they're gonna be kind of like, you know, because they're gonna be a little bit empty boxed. They're gonna be a little dry. You know, you don't know really what to say. You're not gonna have that you know, that emotion behind it. But once you start getting into it, once you start getting, hey, you need to get passed up on a fucking booking here and there. You need to get fucking, you need to have someone do a better promo than you and really fucking shit on you where the crowd goes, oh man, it should fucking eat you the fuck alive, right? We have to start looking at wrestling and pro wrestling and everything that we do in a sense, right? We have to walk that line of legitimate and it's a show, but also we have to find what our motivation is sometimes. You know what I mean? And really, like, that's why sometimes these wrestlers will, and I say these wrestlers, me, like sometimes we believe our fucking hype. You know what I mean? It helps us living the gimmick, you know? Oh, fuck, promoters and friends and colleagues hate that shit, but does it help you in your character? You know, does that help you? Because you're like, fuck, I'm not as good as this guy. I can't just turn it off. I got to have it on all day because it's show day. Yeah, I get it. It's annoying to some fucking people. Learn to walk it down. But hey, you got to make sure you got to do what the fuck you got to do to be the best. And how do you do that? Practice over and over and over and over. And I'm telling you, it's just like when I used to take steroids, man. I was getting big and big and big, and I was physically getting fucking big. It was more like it wasn't. But I'm telling you, when I worked out, I got a lot stronger. When I took steroids, it was like this. It was like I blew up. That's all it was. It was just like I ballooned up. It didn't even look good. But anyways, steroids fucks with your head so much that you're fucking huge and you're just like, I'm not big enough yet. I look like shit. You know what I mean? And so same thing on your promos. You're going to never think your promos are good enough yet. Do you know what I mean? Then you're going to start hearing the reactions from people that you're shooting those promos to. And then it's going to click in your head, oh, I'm fucking onto something. And that's how you figure out what works and what doesn't work. You know what I mean? So I think just really get comfortable at speaking. Don't worry about trying. Hey, we got to have these fucking taglines. I get it. But let them come out natural. Say the whatever your fucking tagline is, say it over and over and over again, and you try to use it all the time that you can, even if it's just using it in your head. You're not even speaking it out loud, you know. So that way, when it comes to promo time, it's gonna flow off your tongue. It's gonna flow off your tongue. I'm telling you, the great guys just go out there. I've seen them in the back. They don't even think about it. They just go out there and talk. I saw Shane Douglas go out there and. I didn't see him practice shit, man. He went out there and he tore the house down every time I saw him live, you know? Anything you have to add on promos, Robby? Any tips that you have for these guys before we maybe get into them?
No, just like I said, just man, just try to use your emotion. Try and just the best way you can. Just try to use your emotion. Try to use your heart as best you can. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Let's see. So as you guys start thinking of your promos, let me see.
Think, I can add a question?
Yeah. What do you got to say, brother?
Yeah,
Speak on it.
It's because we usually wait until the end for the questions. But while I was watching that playlist on YouTube, I kind of branched off into like other videos, which was CM Punk and John Cena, and there was a promo going on. But one thing that I was noticing is that like back then, like in the Attitude Era, they would do promos, but based on their gimmicks. But when it came to like the CM Punk era, it was kind of like it was a shoot every single time. Like there was some realism behind it. And my question is like to a certain extent, where does like a promo is allowed to be depending on like the environment that you're in? Like for example, like CM Punk, he was saying something about John Cena. John Cena's gimmick is that he is loyalty, respect, and whatever, right? So meaning that he is like a Superman, a walking Superman. But CM Punk told the story of when back in the days when he won the ECW championship, and he said that when he won it, instead of John Cena complimenting him and telling him congrats like his character would, he went up to him and he said it to the public. He's like, you went up to me and you said you almost lost faith in me. And he was like, that really rubbed me in a bad way. And that basically shut John Cena up. But at the same time, it's like, yes, he did win that discussion. But the thing is that he did shut down his character. Does that make sense?
So what's your question? As in, was that a shoot? Was that what you're asking?
Yeah, like my question is like how much freedom does a wrestler have in terms of their promo? That they're going against.
So if you see stuff like, I think even Charlotte said some stuff recently on a promo. You got the CM Punk pipe bomb, right, where he actually breaks down the third wall, talks about Ring of Honor and Colt Cabana. I'm gonna be straight up and honest with you. Probably all those. They know exactly what they're gonna say as they go out there. And when I say they, in gorilla position, like everything's already taught. As a television show, like when they cut his mic off, oh, he's going too far. He's talking about Triple H and stuff. Like that was cute. It was on cue. I mean, 100%. You don't go out there and you don't sabotage anyone's. You turn the mic off. Like you send Supreme out there, right, Robby? Or you go out there yourself. Like you don't sit in the back and go, oh shit, he's talking shit about us. But how much freedom do they have? I think when you get really great on the mic, they start giving you those freedoms to say anything you want to say. You know what I mean? Because and then you know what? A lot of it is that charisma that you have is you sell it to the writers or the promoters or the bookers. You sell your promo to them and you say, this is what I should say and this is how I should say it. And it's usually because you're charismatic. If you're cutting really good promos, you're usually charismatic just as a person. And so you're going to sell it to that person. So, you know, on the indies, on the other hand, people just say whatever the fuck they want sometimes. You know what I mean? But I think if it's a television on, especially WWE, I mean, there's incredible control for all those shows. So if they got you thinking that, oh, that was a shoot, then they got you, right? It worked. Like the story, like they're doing they're doing their jobs. You know what I mean? Because you're supposed to say, fuck, that looked like a shoot. That didn't look like, you know what I mean? So I think on that level, 100%. Yeah, like they got control of that. Like they're not messing around. Maybe back in the day, they probably said some stuff. And I know ECW used to just go wild, you know. They used to say some wicked stuff on ECW. But yeah, I think on the indies, people have probably incredible amount of freedom. You know, obviously as the shows get larger and bigger, as your character becomes a better promo person, you get more freedom to say things because even if it's say you got a promoter like Mongo Santino and he's really old school. So like if you start telling him about like, I want to cut a promo about like talking about the guy in the back, like, oh, he wouldn't really want to go with that. So if you would have to sell it on him. You know what I mean? So having that charisma really helps out, you know? So
yeah, because like, you know, like you have like the Macho Man kind of promos where he's like, yeah, I'm going to get you in that headlock and then drop that elbow on you. And then you have the Shawn Michaels kind of promo where he goes to Brett and he's on the Teletron thing and he's like, I know you've been having some sunny days, right? Where it's like, you know, like, right? And it's like, that's where I'm kind of like, how much, and this is like in any, like even at like in WWE or in the smallest venue, like how much, like should a wrestler be concerned in terms of like when making those promos against your opponent? Because if you know
the person, just tell them this is what I'm going to say. You know what I mean? Usually that's how it's broken down sometimes. If you're saying some shit, like say it to me, I don't give a fuck because I'm like, this is pro wrestling. I don't buy into your fucking bullshit. Some people, hey, why'd you say on the mic? I think you really feel that way. You know what I mean? It really bothers them. But I think to avoid anything like that, hey, usually you maybe talk to somebody, or if you're a status of Shawn Michaels, maybe maybe you don't like somebody, right? That's you know, proven that Brett and Shawn always had their head button going on. So I'm pretty sure that, and I, you know, when they said the Sunny Days thing, I didn't even get it as a fan. I think I was watching wrestling. So I think that was just was it a rib? I guess it was a rib.
Yeah.
Right? Like a shoot rib. So, you know, but yeah, I think as you get better with promos, you get free, they let you say more, they give you more freedom, but especially I think if you're in the WWE, they're they know exactly what you're saying. And if you go off script, you probably hear about it, whether it was good or bad. You might have did a good job. They're going to say, hey, it might have been a good job, but just you got to let me know what the fuck you're going to say next time. You know what I mean? I totally see that happening. But, you know, maybe we'll talk to Jake and listen and see what they have to say when we get them back on. Just kind of get that perspective from NXT.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. How you doing today, Ruby? Did you watch those promos?
I watched some, but one of the big things the Talk on Monday inspired me to do was go back and watch some of my favorite promos to try to figure out why they were my favorite promos. So. To
figure out why they're your favorite promos is what you said? I love your promos. I think your promos are always really good.
Not my promos. Not my promos. Some of my favorite promos.
Well,
that's why.
What is your favorite promo?
Well, honestly, like you already mentioned it, it's Hard Times. I love that promo. Just because of the pacing and the cadence and the actual storytelling in the promo. Yeah. And the way he just speaks the same way as like a Southern minister does.
Doesn't he though? I always thought that too. I thought I was the only guy, man. Oh my gosh, he does.
No.
Because he puts his hand out, doesn't he, at the end?
Even at that, like if you've ever listened to any Southern ministries and Southern like basically worship services, he does the whole vocal up and down and talk and now up again. Like it's one of those things. But the promo that I really like besides that, and nobody seems to know about this promo anytime I bring it up, is the Roddy Piper Everything But the Kitchen Sink promo.
Okay, I gotta listen to that one. Everything I know. The title sounds familiar. I can't tell you what it's about. I couldn't tell you.
I've put it out there a couple of times, and it's essentially, remember when they did Wrestle Reunion at LAX?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Roddy Piper was set to wrestle there, and he had all these. He was set to be there, and he cut this promo about how everybody makes a mistake when they bring everything but the kitchen sink, and he's sitting there at the sink. He's like, I'm gonna bring the sink, and he sits and starts cutting a promo while he's hammering away at a sink. So I actually went through my list of my favorites. That one, the one I talked to you about before, Mankind's 8th Day promo. Like I went through and I rewatched some of those, and I was just trying to figure out what it is about these types of promos I really enjoy, and it just really seems to be like the whole storytelling aspect is what I've come to realize that I enjoy about promos.
Yeah, the way they could tell a story. I think maybe that's going back to what Robby was saying about comedians, right? Like you could be funny, but can you be a stand-up comedian to tell a story, right? To stand there for an hour and a half. You have to be, it's just telling stories. You have to be a great storyteller. But yeah, I got to definitely check that promo out. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you. Let's see here. Hyde, what's your favorite promo?
I have a lot of them.
Oh, geez, that was dramatic, my friend.
One that always comes to mind is Macho Man. I forgot exactly what the promo was about, but he says
get the fuck out of here, man. You got hey, so your homework today, not only to cut these fucking promos today, but you got to go home and watch 50 plus promos from that list that Pete gave you. 50 plus promos, and you should have a favorite one just right off the bat. Like you should have 10 favorite ones, 100%. Like just, and then especially like now, like you should have the one. So, you know, hey, even if you just threw at me the Hard Times or the Pipe Bomb or something, give me something. Hey, I know we're professional bullshitters, but come on, like you got to have a favorite promo, right? Well, I thought for sure you'd probably say Edge or Gangrel or some shit like that.
I like the Rocks when he messes around with Coach, and then he talks about Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, and talks about I just like how the mannerism.
What about the People Strudel with Lillian Garcia?
That one's funny too.
Yeah. I couldn't believe they were saying that one on Channel 13.
That one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right. So be ready for your promo, my friend. Charlie Wu. Charlie Wu's got to have some promos because Charlie Wu comes in and he's already got his character down. Who's your favorite promo?
I don't really. Only thing that pops in my mind whenever I think of promo is always The Rock, and it's always the part where he's like, it doesn't matter what your name is. So what's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is. Cut off, because it sets it up as if he's invested in the person, only to cut him off, and they're just kind of like, oh snap, you know what I mean? Because there's attitude behind it, but he sets it up as if it's an innocent, like an innocent conversation. Just mannerism behind just that was always something that always popped into my mind, and it's just that's how like Rock will always have like that one-liner kind of setting you up, and it's coming. That's how I liked how his promos went, because out of like anyone, it's not necessarily story, but of course Rock, so many promos in which he will actually tell you like a whole story and a whole match and a whole why he's gonna beat someone down. He sells it in a way where it's kind of like it's great, where you kind of, as you say, you build up the other guy as if he's gonna, this guy's really good. Then The Rock's gonna turn that boot, right side, stick it up your hand, yes, just flip it. It just crescendos, and that's what I remember about like promos. So to me, it's always The Rock, just because the pacing and the way it builds is how I like. Is who I like as someone who does promos. As for a specific promo, I can't think of any right now.
When you say The Rock, when he says, what's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is. I don't know if I'm the only one. This might just be the Rock mark in me. But there was times, right? Totally see it coming a mile away. What's your name? There was also times that I thought he was just having a conversation with the guy. What's your name? And then it doesn't matter. And I don't know. I think like, I don't know if I was the only one, because I think that's also what made the pop hard again too, because they were like, got you, motherfucker. Because I think I always got 50% of the time. Like I would see it coming, just like you, Charlie. And then, but the other 50%, I think he would catch me, because I would think he's just having a conversation with, whether it was Cole or Coach or whoever's in the ring with him. But I think that's just that charisma that he has, and the ability that you're just engaged in listening to what he says, going maybe even like a stand-up comedian, right? You have to be able to command that attention. That's another thing that we haven't talked about, is really commanding the attention. I always see a lot of people cutting promos, and they're just kind of like, this, and say maybe whatever, we're over here in this area cutting a promo, and everybody else is doing their thing, and they tell everyone shut the fuck up or quiet down, we're cutting promos. But you should never have the promo where everyone just really keeps talking quietly. Your promo should command the attention of everybody there. You know what I mean? Even if I'm over here talking to Rob, wait a second, Rob, what's going on over here? I got to see this. Whether it be commanding attention doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be loud. Like, you just have to be able to command that attention. And I think this is where Kevin Kleinrock taught me, just got to throw everything to the wall, see what sticks. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid. Don't keep your best shit and keep your best shit and keep your best shit. And then when the time's right, you throw that one thing to the wall. It might not stick. Throw everything, right? That's why they say it like that. Just because whatever you think is going to be the best one, everyone's going to be like, whatever. That other one that you have right there, that's the money. And you're going to say, really? Nah, get out of here. Yeah, I don't know how many times me and Rob says, no, hey, that's the shit you need to keep saying. And Robbie's always helped a lot of people out, a lot of the students out with their promos and everything like that, and what they should say. And maybe he should speak on it, like just really catching it. And that's why you always have to throw it out there to, whether it's a coach or a friend, your mom, your brother, your dog, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just see what people think, but also don't give a fuck what they think. You got to just throw it out there too, but they're going to help you. There's people like really want to help you. I think we always think about haters and haters and haters. It's really a lot in our head. There are real haters out there, but a lot of times we're just shitting on ourselves. Oh, that's not good enough. Oh, that one sucks. Man, just throw it out there to the people that care about you, your friends, family, coaches, and they're going to come back and really help you. And they're going to say, hey, man, that shit's fucking stupid. And I'll tell people that shit fucking like I think Eli will tell Matt Vandegrift, hey, man, that alien bullshit character is stupid. And I would go up to Vandegrift and say, hey, that's his opinion. And I would tell him, I don't really understand if it's going to work or not, but fucking go grab your fucking balls and go balls to the wall with it, man. Like, don't let no one fucking shit on it. Go with it, man. And then fast forward, this chick Chris Vanlander, like, kind of gets a little alien gimmick over, and I think if she was on the Indies, it'd be a little bit more over than AEW is going with it. She got hurt recently, but I was thinking about Matt Vandegrift when I saw her eating a pizza backwards, like, kind of, and I was like, is that where he was trying to fucking go with this? Like, he should have. Like, just, and I think, and I don't know, probably sometimes you get these people that say that's the stupidest shit. Like, just fucking, I'm going to say, give it your all. Maybe they don't understand it yet. Give it your fucking all, you know? Oh. Dom, I saw Dom Kubrick here. Mr. Dom Kubrick. First, let me ask you this, brother. What's your favorite movie?
Clockwork Orange.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that Tom Cruise one.
What?
What's the Tom Cruise one with Nicole Kidman?
The Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, that's the fucking one I thought you were gonna say. All right. So, what's your favorite promo?
Mankind. Destruction Can Be Beautiful. I don't really know what it has a name to it. Like, if you look it up on YouTube, it's greatest WWE promo ever. But he pretty much ends it with the, you know, he's like whimpering and crying, and he like ends it by saying, you know, destruction can be beautiful. But he starts. It's kind of like an introduction into the life of mankind, where he starts speaking with some realism, you know, about how people are like telling him, die mankind, you know, his 3-year-old daughter is telling him to be safe, you know, when he leaves, but he can't because he's out on the road X amount of days, you know, out of the year. And it's, I don't know, it has a lot of emotion when it's mankind. So he brings all that emotion out with his voice, or I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's great.
Bringing that realism, right?
Yeah.
What is some of your motivation behind your character and your promos?
Well, of course, as far as the look goes, I guess it stems from Eyes Wide Shut with the whole mask and the, you know, all that with the secret society and with the whole sexual secret society, and some of it does stem from Clockwork Orange, where, you know, the main character will start I guess you'd say he kind of gets off on violence in a way. Not so much as, I don't know. In a way, that's where he gets most of his enjoyment or his happiness, is inflicting pain or just breaking into someone's house and fucking up their shit. As even, you know, of course, he rapes a couple women, but like it's just that's part of it. Some of it's from this movie called Bronson with Tom Hardy.
Okay, I never seen that one. I know what you're talking about for sure.
Yeah, a little bit from that one. You know, he kind of has like this little artistic side to him, but, you know, he's a brute.
Yeah,
and brute that just, you know, he's in solitary confinement for 30, 40 years.
Is that how you see your character? Like, you're a brute? Like, what? How do you see Dom Kubrick, the character?
I see Dom Kubrick as, you know, kind of, okay, well, yeah, there's that hint of you know, I guess exotic or exotico, then a little bit of like, you know, I do want to have that little, I guess, refined taste, or a little bit of that artistic side, but at the same time, I do want to have that, you know, deep down there's something primal or animalistic that's deep down. You know, it's not necessarily brought out like in front of your face, but it's there. You know,
so is even
subtle.
Even deeper down, are you like, is Dom Kubrick like hurting inside like mankind?
I wouldn't say like that. I say it's more like where, okay, well, I can take the pain, you know, that, you know, if someone's gonna chop me, I'm gonna like it, but at the same time, you know, let me get my receipts and do that stuff back, because I'm gonna like that just as much, like a sadist masochist.
How was it being with Halston Body? He's got a lot of charisma, can talk. He really reminds me of my buddy Ryan Katz, GQ Money. Did he help you at all? Like, sitting there with him, did you help him at all? Like, how was that dynamic? How did that dynamic work out for you?
Well, I feel like it helped because it was I'd say it was mutual. Yeah, I mean, I could tell you what he helped me with. if there's something I helped him with, then I don't know that he'd have to speak on that because I don't know what.
What did he help you out with?
I guess finding a little like targeting like the character a little more, like help me trying to shape it up and mold it into something what I would like it to be. Because otherwise, it probably just would have been a little bit too much of this, or it would have been too much of one thing or not enough of the other. But he kind of helped me, I guess you could say, tune it up, or gave me little things like don't give it all away at once, with a kiss. Like, hey, don't just go out there and just have a kiss in the first 3 minutes of the match. No, save it. Like that's the money right there. That's your stuff. Save that. That's gonna be the stamp right there on the match. That's what you want to do. You could lead the whole match into that. You could spend the whole time trying to kiss someone, and that big finish that you want is to kiss the other opponent. That's which I don't know. He helped me with that.
The anticipation, right?
Yeah.
Do you get excited like when you have a promo, or you're like me and Robby when we first started, like, oh fuck?
Yeah, I'm probably you and Robby. Like, I need some time.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't take you as that guy that would be like, oh fuck. I think that you would you'd be ready to go. How about you, Ruby? When they say it's promo time, are you like, fuck yeah, let's do it, or what?
Yeah, my favorite is always just when you guys tell me I'm doing a promo like right before a show. I'm like, just live? Yeah.
Yeah, huh? Oh man. I think even to this day I still hate it.
Hey, give me a live mic in front of a crowd any day before having to do it on the camera. For some reason, the live crowd and being there in front of everybody, I feel like, and being able to feed off of everybody and be able to take my time is like 10 times better than having to do it in front of a camera.
What about Robby's late for his match? And I'm like, hey, Ruby, he's going to be here in 10 minutes. I need you to go out there with this mic and kill some time. Could you do that?
Let's go.
Yeah, you could, huh? Let me ask you, what would you talk about? Like, what would you just say? Like, you would talk about yourself, talk about your opponent, or what?
Whatever is pertinent to that time, or whatever's going on in my storyline at that time. Like, when we were doing the stuff with me and Jake, or me and Brody, anytime you guys had me do a promo, like right before, like during the show, I never script any of those. It's like, I'm doing a promo. Okay, let me go out there and let me just be myself and be my character and talk and feel the crowd and go with it. Like I did that at Ground Zero too. The time I showed up and I wasn't able to wrestle, they're like, okay, well, here, have a mic. Okay, have a mic. The whole thing boils down to is that I know who I am as a wrestler and what my character is. So I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to talk from my heart. Like you said, talk from your heart, be yourself. And also, like Robby said, feel the crowd and feel where they're going.
Yeah, it's so important to listen to the crowd. A lot of the times we go in there with, oh, this is what I called, this is what I wrote, or this is what I'm going to say. Yeah, it's so important to listen to the crowd. When I say listen to the crowd, man, there's always somebody. We used to wrestle at the Nickelodeon in Colton, California, 25 years ago, and there was a girl that always would yell, "Pile driver, pile driver," and it was like 14 people in the crowd. But yeah, whenever I say listen to the crowd, I always think back to that first day. Ruby, like, so how were you on your first promos? Like when you first started doing promos? I mean, I know you started as a manager. Was it nerve-wracking then, or were you ready to go? Actually, you started as photographer, right?
Yes, I started as a photographer, so I was already being exposed to the business before I was even a manager.
Hey, that should blow some fucking minds right here. The photographer. You know what I mean? Really, legitimately. So I'm sorry, but like, were you excited? Like, so now you're managing. Were you excited to do promos, or did you have any nerve wrack at all?
I kind of had some nerve wrack at that time, but with the guys that I had Violence Unlimited, so I had Funny Bone, Bateman, and Drago, and so they were a bunch of great talkers in the first place. I kind of didn't really have a spot to really say much at first, but as time progressed, and after a while, it was just me and Bateman, and then Bateman started getting better with his promos. I took a back seat because as a manager, I'm not trying to put myself in front of the wrestler, of course. So from there, when he got better at his promos, I took a back seat and I was listening to him and how he's doing it and how he's wording things. And there's like a lot of points of psychology and stuff that we brought into this when we were like studying how people speak, because we actually did that. We went through and we were listening to good speakers, great speakers, and trying to understand how they're thinking, why they're saying the things they're saying, and how they're saying it, most importantly.
That was when you were in school, you're saying?
Yes.
Like in class?
Yeah. Well, no. This is me and Bateman on our own.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah,
so
we would do take study, and then here I am learning about psychology in school. So I would bring those points of psychology to him, and then we would look at people. Like, honestly, when we listened to people, we were listening to not just wrestlers. We were listening to, like I was saying, Southern evangelicals, Charlie Manson, Jim Jones. You're listening to all these people because they're all great charismatic speakers, despite the bad things that a lot of these guys have done. There is a way that they speak that you could actually, you want to take from how they're doing it, because there's a reason why they're so influential.
Yeah, it's the reason why everyone drank the juice. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like they're legit. They were, man, that's amazing. You talk about Tyler Bateman, man. Like when we were talking about, I think a couple of weeks ago, when we were watching the old Santino brother vignettes and highlight videos, like Bateman's promos were just incredible. And so that's a great insight. I think everybody should have wrote that down about like what you guys are studying, not just wrestling promos. And I'm a big believer on that. Like, you got to get out of the wrestling world, go read a book, go watch a movie, see what that character's like. But yeah, definitely go listen to these speakers, right? Regardless of what they do, but they were able to influence people to do some wicked shit, you know? So there's something behind that psychology, and it's like that's what we're doing with pro wrestling, right? We're bringing people up, bringing people down, really touching their hearts and making them believe, you know? So I think, man, those are incredible pointers, Ruby. Yeah, so
there's one thing that I took, that I learned in psychology, that I took and I passed on to him, and we talked about it, and I noticed he incorporates it in his promos a lot. And that's the point of, if you ever really want to get someone's attention, you don't yell at them. You talk softly to them. And that's how you get someone's attention. I don't know if you've seen it in his promos, but he does that a lot. He'll go from talking to being very soft, because that's the attention draw right there.
Oh, yeah. I remember him saying, Brody King, we've been with you every step of the way. And he actually was cradling the mic, which I remember him doing, which is mannerisms, that who is your character. But yeah, definitely underappreciated is Tyler Bateman when it comes to promos. Even Ruby Raze, I know she's right here, but it's not about putting her over. I think it also should let you guys understand like why these people are always in Santino Brothers main event, like what we think about them and their promos and what they deliver. Definitely, I think you guys should be seeking out those promos, especially now getting the insight behind about how they studied them. Man, I even want to now seek out other promos besides Santino Brothers that you guys did, because it's just really interesting to me, you know. So, but yeah, that's what it takes to do it. That's why going back earlier, I'm telling you guys, hey, dude, like I can teach you all this stuff. Me and Ruby and Robby, we can all give you all these pointers, but it takes you to take that extra step. It's the more that counts. You know what I mean? Like going back to good enough ain't good. Fuck good enough. Out of your fucking vocabulary. You got to take it to the next step. They say this is your homework. Well, you should do extra credit, extra work. You know what I mean? Because it's about feeding your mind. It's not about giving it to the Coach Robby, Coach, you know, Ruby or me and saying, oh, well, did I do good? No, man, it's about what you can learn. And that's what you really need to do, and take it that extra step the way Ruby's talking about what she's doing, and really studying different types of speaking. You know, it's going to help you, right? Just listening to those people that speak, because it's like, back in the day, they used to have videos and you used to go to sleep and listen to you know, positive mental videos or tapes to help you get better in life. You know what I mean? And the more you kind of listen to this stuff, it's going to help you out, you know, but you have to put in the work. You know, I get it, right? Sometimes you gotta just, you want to listen to some promos and then surf Facebook. No, you gotta that's it. This is all I'm doing. I'm turning off my phone. I'm just watching promos. I'm looking up speakers, you know, even politicians, right? Because that's what they're fucking doing. You know what I mean? I talk to people. I'm gonna say, hey, I asked them, what do you think of Trump? And someone goes, I think he's the greatest heel of all time. Like, you know what I mean? Just like he fucking says the shit because he knows it's gonna piss people off. Like he says the stupidest shit because he knows it's gonna drive these emotions. You know, and I guess that's what he's looking for. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do, but that's just, you know. But like that's what we're doing when we're cutting these promos. We're driving these emotions up and down. You know, one of the promos that I've always loved. I'm pretty sure Pete can find it for us. Is in Montreal? It's Shawn Michaels versus and they're not even fighting. It's Chris Jericho. I think it's the Jericho Reel. Maybe it's the Jericho Reel. I don't know. But anyways, they're in Montreal, so Montreal hates Shawn Michaels, right? The Montreal screw job, this, that, and the other. But going into this promo, Jericho's the heel, Shawn is the face. So they show up to Montreal, and it's backwards, right? That's how it happens sometimes. So their job was to figure out how can we not get them to hate Shawn Michaels so much because of his history in Montreal, and how can we get them to hate Chris Jericho, who's fucking Canadian. You know what I mean? So, man, that's got to be incredibly tough. These two guys did it. They went out there and everyone hated Shawn Michaels, right? They already booed him and this, that, and the other. And it was Shawn Michaels' job to get them to turn around. And that's really fucking tough when you go out there and they're already shitting on you. You know, it's easy to go out there and they're cheering you and then they get them to boo you. That's easy. That's pretty easy. You know, there's still skill and an art to that, 100%. But, man, to go the other way around where they hate you and you got to turn it around. It's a fucking masterpiece, and I can never find. I do when I do find it on YouTube. It's the grainiest fucking footage that I've ever seen in the world. But it is a masterpiece of these two guys. About Shawn Michaels turns around and starts telling Jericho, "Well, aren't you the guy who moved out of Canada and moved to Florida because you don't even want to be here anymore?" And everyone starts going, "Hey, wait a second, Jericho!" And he keeps doing these things. And Shawn, by the end of it, everyone's cheering fucking Shawn Michaels, the one that screwed over their hero, Bret Hart. Man, and that I've always thought is an incredible masterpiece. There's many great promos, but like that's like, how do you go out there when they're booing the shit out of you and get them to cheer you? And then the other guy that they're cheering, get them to boo him. That's, ooh, but those are two of the greatest of all time, you know, going out there and doing it. It's something that you guys got to see. I can't do it justice by explaining it to you. So if Pete can't find it, I'll go ahead and find it for you guys. I usually can. It takes a couple of tries because they have so many promos at the Jericho Reel or something like that. But it's definitely in Montreal at Raw, which they might have a couple of times. So we'll take a look at that and definitely see that. So, all right. Anything, Ruby, Robby, or Dom, that you guys want to add for promos? And then we'll kind of go into some promos, whether, hey, some of you guys are ready or not. I think I kind of killed an hour for you so you guys can actually get it going in your head and think in your head what you're going to say. But I'd like to go through a lot of you guys, everybody, including Pete, Javier, Hyde. I see Hyde's ready. I know Jay Douglas is ready. And I'd like to go through some promos, and we'll get through however many we can get through, and we'll critique them. But before we start, anything that you guys want to add, Robby, Ruby, or Dom?
I just want to say one more thing. When you're cutting these promos, guys, believe in the shit that you're saying. Believe in every word that you are saying. That goes with that part I talked about earlier about talking with emotion. If you believe what you're saying, you have emotion with it, then we'll believe it. You know what I mean? It's like Joey was saying earlier. We're bullshitters. You have to make us believe you're bullshit.
Professional
like
bullshitters.
A politician. Yeah. You know, like politicians, make us believe you're bullshit so that we can vote for you. You know what I mean?
Vote for Pedro. All right, Rob. Who's first, Rob? You choose them out. Can you see everybody there?
I can't see everybody.
Okay, maybe I can see him better. Let's see.
Yeah.
I mean, I got Hyde. He's already in gimmick. He looks like he's ready to go. Let's
go with Hyde. He seems like he's been ready since 4.
Let's start with Hyde, and let's get, I'd like to, and this is what Robby says when we're in that ring, man. When we say who's next, I want to see 5 motherfuckers jump at it, and we're gonna have to pick one. We don't want to have to chase it down, right? Because that's that putting in the more, right? It's the more that matters. It's the more that counts, right? Good enough isn't enough. It's the more that matters. It's the more that counts. Okay, so put it. Hey, I'm telling you, if you're in class and they say jump in and you don't jump in, fuck we doing here for, man? You should be loud. You get it? We're
Yep,
scared, but fuck. Get it right, Robby? Speak on it.
Yeah, I already know. Once I say who's next and no one jumps in, I already know these motherfuckers don't want it. These motherfuckers don't want it.
Yeah, hey, even if you jump into that fucking pool and you fucking sink, man, we'll save you. We'll help you, man. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna sink here. This ain't live, man. Sometimes we throw you in live. They cut a promo. You know, so yeah, hey, even if you sink, I'd rather you just say fucking let's just go for it, man. Hey, you might start off good and just couldn't make it, but hey, we're gonna get the thing is about right. We're gonna fail our way to success. Full promos. Okay? All right, Hyde, are you ready, my friend? Or Ruby, are you good? Anything else you want to add?
Nope, exactly what Robby said was what I was going to say, and it's all the way around. If you don't believe it, I ain't going to believe it either.
Yeah, exactly. So let's do it. Here we go. All right, Hyde. So looks like you're up first. Sometimes I think going up first is kind of the most nerve-wracking part. Hey, but sometimes it's good because you get your shit done out of the way and you sit back, and then sometimes you come back and you say, hey, coach, can I cut a second one? You know what I mean? So, all right, Hyde, let's hey, any parameters on these, Rob or Ruby or Dom? Are we timing them or are we just going to let them flow?
I think you should time them.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try to go 30 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds.
30 to 45. All right, 30's good. 46 is too much. We're going to commercial.
I got a clock in front of me. I'll keep time for you.
Okay, and think about when you guys are cutting these promos and they tell you 15 seconds. When we watch AEW, it goes to that little box. And early on, sometimes they were talking in promos. So let's get that order down. When they say 45 seconds, that's it. We can do 30 because we got 15 seconds before we go to commercial, and we'll be right back. You know what I mean? But you don't want to give your best promo, and it goes into that little box. Or what happened to Diamond Dallas Page and Goldberg, where they cut the pay-per-view before the ending. You know what I mean?
I'll give you guys the 30-second marker, so you'll have 15 seconds after that.
Ooh, and the marker should be this. You know what I mean? Something very subtle. Yeah. Twiddling my pencil. You know what I mean? I'm biting my glasses. All right. So I guess when you start speaking, Mr. Hyde, Ruby's going to start timing, and we'll go ahead and go from there.
Perception can boggle the mind. It can boggle the appearance. You can think something is exactly like this because of how it looks, because of what they say, because of the color or whatever. Now, I live close to somewhere where all I hear is screaming. I hear rattling. I hear cheers and I hear cries. But yet a lot of people, even though it sounds pretty scary, they still go there when I wouldn't even want to go there. That place is nuts. It's not scary, it's a fun place. Same with me. You think I'm crazy? You're crazy. You stop at a red light? You let a color make you stop? Hyde's gonna keep going at you.
What's the time, Ruby?
55 seconds.
Over.
All right. So, what were some of the misses? What do you think? What do you think, Ruby and Robby? What did you guys see? Go ahead, Rob.
I just, with me starting right off on it, I didn't feel any emotion. It was more like a robot. You were just saying words. It didn't feel like you believed what you were saying. And then there was times where, like, just hearing you could tell you were like, shit, what do I say right here? Not that you said that, but that stall that you did showed us that you're like, fuck, I don't know what to say right here. I think if you'd have came in with some emotion, more emotion, we could have caught on to that. And then also cut down on the time.
Yeah. Okay.
You also, I think you need to say your name. Something as simple as who you are, you know? I mean, look it, man, I get it. Edge goes out there. He don't gotta say his fucking name. You know what I mean? You know, so What did you think, Ruby? What are your pointers for him?
Personally for me, okay, so you're thinking 45-second promo. There was a part towards the end that you got towards where you could have just used that part for the promo instead of starting where you did. So at one given point, you said you stop at a red light, you let a light tell you what to do. That right there could be the meat of a promo and just work with that. And then you got your 45 seconds. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that part stood out. And so if you just would have used that part of the promo and then elaborate on that a little bit, that could tell the audience who you are in relation to who they are.
Okay.
Yeah, and just like Robby said, like let's get a little bit more tones, right? Emotion in it. How many times have you practiced that promo? Have you said it like
first time out of
practice,
the
like well, but like, have you been practicing some promo? I mean, come on, you must have been practicing some promos, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just over and over and over, say it like, hey, you know what I mean? See if this works. Oh, I don't like that saying. Cross it out. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be you're gonna go through a process of elimination to see what works and what doesn't work. You know, so I want you to feel comfortable at it. So you're gonna have to just practice it over and over and over. And then especially with, you know, having, you know, social media, man, we could just cut it on our phone. We don't even need to have anybody in our house. We cut it on our phone. You send it to Robby. You cut it on your phone, send it to me or whoever. You know what I mean? Send it to Brody, Jake, Ruby, you know, Dom. Dom's always in the class, man. I would send it to Dom, see what he thinks. You know, why not just get as many different, you know, because some people are going to help you out, you know. So let's see if we have time. We'll try to shoot it again. We'll hit it again.
Yeah. Yes.
Joey, I'm ready.
Who's
also,
that?
real quick, guys.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Go ahead, Robby. I'm sorry.
When I say talk, you know, use emotion, talk with emotion like you normally would. Like if you're, you know, if you normally, you know, how you would get angry, talk that way. Or if you get upset, talk in the normal way you would. Don't try to force it, because that's when you start. It's not emotion. We don't believe it because you're trying to force it. A lot of times when I cut my promos and if they're in storyline like what I did with Jake and Brody and them, it was okay. I'm upset because these are the guys I trained and you know, they're kind of not turning on me, but they're not listening to me. So I'm upset, not pissed, upset. But then it gets to that point, and every time I cut that promo, I would cut them just like I would get pissed. Like if you guys saw me in class and I got, you know, I would be cool till I finally snapped and I start cussing at you guys, and that's how I cut them. Use that real emotion that you normally would.
Yeah, have it speak from the heart. And I get it, you know, at first it's just like wrestling. You know, just like when we're wrestling training, it's like, fuck, what do you mean footwork? What do you mean timing? What do you mean this? And then, man, it starts clicking with you. You know what I mean? It starts, you start getting it, but it's gonna take that practice. It's gonna take that studying. You know what I mean? Like, and outside the box, like I like to get outside of pro wrestling. There's so many characters out there. Reading a book. We've said it already. So like really looking outside that box besides pro wrestling to find your motivation. So let's try to give it a second chance down. Hopefully we can do it today. But let's see. Who is that? Birdman said he was ready?
Yeah, Birdman's ready.
Birdman.
Birdman's always ready to cut
That's
a promo.
Robby's guy. That's Robby and Ruby's guy right there.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. You're my guy too. You're my dog.
Thanks,
dog.
Joey. Thanks, Kaos.
That's my dog.
Way to just push me off. And like, oh, he's these other people's guys. He's not my guy. He's their guy.
No. Yeah, you're my dog.
I leased the guy. I rent the guy, but I don't own the guy. He's a part-timer. All right.
Here we go.
Let me know when the timer is.
Here we go. Birdman Adams. When you start speaking.
This is Birdman, and quite frankly, I'm sick. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm sick of all the fake tough guys being kept afloat by the abusive hot air that is their insecurity and using it to crush the people around them. It doesn't matter how defined your abs are or how well you can turn fake macho apathy on or off. If you treat people like garbage, you'll get taken out like the human garbage that you are. And if your feathers are ruffled because you can feel your fragile ego being brought to the curb, well, good. Be afraid. Because Birdman is a fantastic garbage man.
35 seconds.
35 seconds. Let me ask you, Birdman. Were you reading that?
Yes, sir.
You were reading it?
I was.
Oh, okay. I mean, hey,
Because I wrote it. I wrote it out like literally as like.
we're gonna
just
give
now.
you a second shot to do it. I want to hear it. Just no cheat sheet. We're gonna have to go because also I have my full screen up here right here, and I'm looking at your eyes. And I didn't notice you were reading it until maybe 15 seconds in. I saw the eyes moving, but what I was
Fair enough.
I was zeroing in on was that I didn't see the realism in your eyes to really see where this promo is coming. It sounded good. I think if I closed my eyes, it would have been a different story and just listen to it. But we don't want you to read it. We want you to honestly shoot from the hip. Really, same thing on how we do, how we train. You know, like we can call our spots. I want people to go out there and just riff. Just go out there and riff. That's what's going to make a better wrestler. Same thing with a promo, and especially in this setting. So we'll give you a second chance. What'd you think, Robby and Ruby?
I didn't see his face, or I didn't see his video up when he was when he was cutting his promo, but I could tell he was reading because he sounded like an anchorman from the news. I thought I was listening to some news on the radio. You had some emotion, but you could tell you were reading something.
I'm gonna go ahead and echo that. I was watching it. I could tell from the get-go that you were reading like not even a couple of words in. That reading, it took away the emotion that you had. I could tell that you're an angry guy, but you're an angry guy on paper right now. I want to hear an angry guy in real life.
Yeah, so we'll give you a second. We'll give you a second shot. Hopefully we got time. I think we will.
Like that emotion, but don't read.
Yeah. Hey, have those bullet points of the shit that you wanted to say about being the garbage man, this, that, and the other. Man, but then, hey, sometimes we're going to come back and I'm going to go, hey, Robby, we didn't hit that spot. And then Robbie's going to go, oh, we didn't eat it, though. Okay, it makes me feel better. And the same thing on the promos. You're going, damn, I didn't hit that line. And then Robbie's going to go, man, that shit was still good. He didn't eat it. Save it for that next one. Don't give him everything. So, all right. Thank you, Birdman.
Thank you.
Who's next?
I'll go next.
All right.
Ooh.
Oh, who's that? That's my man, Teddy Bloom.
Oh,
Teddy Bloom. All right.
ready?
Ready when you are, brother. Hey, you command our attention.
All right. That's fair. We got the screen going. Ready, Ruby? Okay. Society's got us all programmed, dude, to be a guest house to disappointment, jealousy, dependency, and rage. And we want to be free of it all. I mean, how tragic to want to be free of the self in a world that's constantly telling you to be yourself when you don't even know who you really are. But I do. And you may not know it now, but you're on your journey to enlightenment. I'm Teddy Bloom. Done.
Ruby, I'll let you take this one first. Ruby was like this.
Yeah. 30 seconds. I actually got really pulled in at the very first, especially when you're like and rage. I would put more emphasis here because you stayed kind of the same face the whole time. But I think the biggest thing that stuck out is the go home was, in my opinion, lacking. It was very, you kind of went like this and then it went like that, and then I was just like, I love that you put your name in there, but just you need that little extra something at the end. Would be if this was for me, I would say you need that little extra something at the very end.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's learning that what's your hook, right? I know that you've been Teddy, you've been practicing these promos. I know you've been sending them to me and Brody. So that's definitely good. And I think that's why you're probably promo right now. Being the third one is probably the best one. I definitely did believe you, but now, and this is what I always tell people, for a new guy, oh, that was really good. But we're grading you on a curve of watching people on television. You know what I mean? So I think that's what's gonna. So when we're on you, like, hey, you got to get it better. It was good, but I know you could do better. You know what I mean? I did believe it in your eyes. I actually was. That was one thing I was looking at. But yes, definitely the height of the promo was in that middle, and then it came down. You know, your time was fine. You're at 41 seconds, Ruby says. So, yeah, the time was good. What did you think, Robby?
I thought did a great job at being the douchebag. You kept me there. I listened to everything. You had me with every word. But like Ruby said, it was climbing, and then it went instead of giving us something big at the end to be like, oh, I want to hear this guy say something again. So just work on that. Just work on that hitting that big finish.
Okay.
Have now I'm calling you Teddy, man. I'm like, what's his real name?
Right?
Hey, Teddy, have you sent any of the promos to Ruby or Robby that you sent me?
I sent you another one that I sent to Brody. It was a 2-minute one. I don't know if, that was probably one of my more confident ones that I put together.
Okay.
Definitely, I'd love feedback.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that one tonight after class. But yeah.
Yeah, Brody was super positive about it, which was nice. He really didn't give me too much constructive feedback, so I like hearing this. I want to know what sucks and what I should keep and what I shouldn't. So, but he thought it was a good start, and I sort of gave him a background on my character maybe a couple of months ago, and he seemed to be on board. It was kind of an extension of me, but in a douchier sense, I guess, So
yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I like your voice. Like when I listen to it, it's one of these. I don't know. It's like a voice that I think I'd like to have. They used to tell me, "Hey, drink some whiskey if you want a lower voice, a deeper voice or something." But yeah, I definitely dig your voice. So you got something there. Practicing the promos on your own, sending them on your own. Keep pushing forward. Having the influence right outside of wrestling. I think right. Point. Yeah. I always say point.
Yeah.
Point break. But yeah, good job, man. Not bad. Could be better. So let's get it. Let's get it to that level. All right.
Robby and Ruby, would you guys mind if I sent that to you? Some of the stuff that I got.
Oh yes, please send me that same promo that you sent them, and whatever else you got, send it to me anytime you want, man. Send it to me.
Instagram, good. Facebook, whatever.
Yeah, Instagram or Facebook, whatever.
Right, cool. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Who's next? Who's gonna speak up?
I'll go.
Oh, I knew it, and I can't see his eyes. I knew it was going to be Will. All right, Will, let's do it. Or excuse me, Artorias. Holy shit.
Hide. You want to talk about perception? There are some who say that perception is reality. But they're wrong. Reality is reality, and I am that reality. My name is Artorias. Strength and honor are my creed, and I am prepared to roll the iron dice of battle and either conquer or perish by them. I'm done.
I don't know about you guys, Robby and Ruby, but I'm going to say, sit down, Teddy Bloom. We got a new guy. Yeah, hey, man, that was really good. I think we've done promos. That's got to be your best promo that I've seen. What do you think, Rob? I dug the eyes. Looking at the eyes. I like the mood that you put us in, right? I think that's always a good aspect to it. Yeah, I dug the voice, man. Yeah, it's commands my attention at least. I don't know how Robby and Ruby feel, but I dug it. And then the wicked shit you said, it definitely fits your character and how you look and what you wear. Definitely the way you're speaking. So that's a huge plus, and I can you know, right? We go like, well, what are you? But I can actually see it in today's realm in 2020. There's a guy like this. It makes sense, right? As opposed to me, I don't know. Sometimes we try to go full Viking, and maybe that might not work. Ruby says your time was 41 seconds, so that was on par. But yeah, so what did you think, Robby?
I think that was one of his best promos that I've seen. Like Joey said, you commanded my attention, and then as you had my attention, you spoke so that I understood you, and I can hear every word that you said, and I held on to every word that you said, and you didn't lose me not once. Not once did I be like, hey, what the fuck? Where's he going with this? What the fuck did he say? No, I kept on with you. I knew where you were going with it, and good job, man. Really good, really good.
Thank you, sir.
I'll get Ruby.
I'm pretty much going to echo everything that you two said. The voice of commanding our attention, as well as your go home line is magnificent. I love that. And your go home line. The thing that you did that I really want to point out to everybody right now is he took his time with everything that he said. And so everything had purpose. And it's kind of like being in the ring, where if you do something, it's going to be very deliberate. No wasted breath. No, what do they call it? Bucolics. No, any of these ums or now or other words that you use to fill space. So in my opinion, that was actually one of the key things that I really loved about it. Besides your presence, besides your character, and besides the way you spoke, I thought it was great. I'd roll that. I'd run that.
Yeah, I totally dug it, and I'm going to tell you this, though. Don't get cocky. It's one promo, right? I always like to say that, right? Because, hey, we're pumping you up, and you think you can do no wrong. But, so now, most important thing is, this is your curve, right? This is it, man. So you can't go worse than this. This has got to be your minimum at the best. So if you don't even get any better, this is going to be your fucking minimum, which we liked. So, but let's get better and better and better at it, right? Let's hit it out of the ballpark. And then for Teddy Bloom, you should be listening to us and go, man, fuck this shit, dude. I'm going to knock it out of the ballpark next time. And that's what I believe. And I think a lot of times I always tell you guys, ain't no friends in wrestling. You know, it's because I think you got to have that competitive spirit inside of you, to where if you hear if Teddy Bloom hears the coaches just put him over, and now we put over the next guy even bigger, you got to be like, oh, fuck no. And I like Will and all, but I'm the best fucking promo here. And that's the way everybody should feel. Birdman, Adams, Hyde, you guys have to have that in you. And that's when I say you got to have that little bit of that motherfucker in you. You know, sometimes I don't explain what that is, but that's what it is. Having that competitive spirit to be like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm going to do better than this guy. You know? And then so now you're top of the right. You're at the top of the mountain right now, Artorias. Now, hey, that's it. There's one way to go, bro. Someone's going to try to knock you down. You know, yeah, you can go up and down with all these motherfuckers. Hyde's coming up this way. Jay's coming up this way. Birdman's coming up that way. They're trying to fucking get your spot, and that's what it's got to be about, because pro wrestling is so incredibly competitive. It's so incredibly competitive for calling it fake all the time. You know what I mean? It's so just to get the job and be there. You know, so that should drive you wild, Jay, Hyde, and Birdman, Adams. Like, nah. I'm going to be the one that's better. And not only when I start cutting promos, man, I'm going to be – and you got to say it, man. The Rock is only a man. One day I'm going to cut a better fucking promo than The Rock, and everyone's going to laugh at you, bro. I'm telling you straight up, everyone's going to laugh at it when you say that shit. They're going to say, no, dude, he's a promo god. No, man. You can be better than The Rock if you fucking put your heart and soul into it. And that should be your goal. And if you don't get better than the fucking Rock, if you're actually going to that level and trying to get that good, you're going to be somewhere amongst the great ones. You know what I mean? So that should be your competitive spirit, right? What we say earlier, good enough shouldn't be in your vocabulary, right? Good enough should not be. I love that line that Greg Plitt said. The good enough shouldn't be in your category. They say if it's not broke, don't fix it. But if it could be fucking better, then it's as good as broke, right? So, good job, Artorias. All right. Who's next?
Okay. Oh, who's going?
Who's going to command it?
I got it. Oh, okay. Dominic, you got it.
Speak on it. Somebody take it. This is us waiting. Oh, here we go. All right, let's see it.
I am not a bad person by any means. I've conditioned to embrace affliction. I naturally enhanced my capabilities. I've augmented my spectrum of satisfaction at the expense of the comfortability of others. But I am not a bad person. Much to the dismay of kings and queens who disapprove, calling me out. Well, if you want Kubrick in the flesh, say my name. You want to lay your hands on Kubrick? Say my name. You want Kubrick face to face, toe to toe, lip to lip? Say my name. But you'll find it quite difficult to utter a single word with my hands hugging your throat. You want me to stop? Say my name. I'm not a bad person. I'm just a bad person. I'm just a good person who does bad things. Right.
Right.
Ah, fuck.
Man,
Yeah.
hey, I gotta say, at 40 to 45 seconds, you were saying "say my name," and it could have ended right there, and then you went like 25 seconds over, man. Like, and then you fucking stumbled over the last one.
Yeah.
Oh man, like it was really good. At first, I don't know. I don't know if I was with it, and then I kind of felt your tone as we were 10, 15 seconds into the promo. I started definitely feeling it a lot better. And I thought it was really good. And then you started saying "say my name." I thought you were gonna end with that, and you had the chance to do it at between 40 and 45 seconds. Man, but yeah, I think you were. I don't know, what were you thinking? Well, you should have just cut it. You had it, I thought.
I did that. I thought about it right there. I was like, should I end it right here? But I kind of want to get that right at the end, and I want to, I'm not a bad person. I want to finish off with that. I'm not a bad person. I'm just a good person who does bad things. That was the whole point, is I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person, and explain it at the end. But I was kind of a little conflicted about where to end it when it came to that part.
Yeah, so definitely we got to practice on some timing, because definitely you're on AEW and they went to that little box, and now we didn't hear that we heard yeah, we heard the commercial, so we didn't hear the right, or I'm not a bad person. So and then so that line, that's your job, dude. It's like standards. 50 fucking standards on that line. You should never mess that fucking line up ever again. Ever again, right? Yeah, that's your fucking line. Like, you should say it 50 fucking times before you go to bed tonight. You know what I mean? What did you think, Robby and Ruby?
Yeah, same thing. I think you could have used all those things you were saying about, and then say my name. I think you could have used that as the meat part of your promo. I think everything you said before that, kind of, that's why you went over the time. If you would have kept that in there and just kind of first, I'm not a bad man, and then said all that shit, say my name, and then this, say my name, this, say my name, but I'm not a bad person. I just do bad things. Right? It would have ended.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, get that hook down. What do you think, Ruby?
That whole, everything you said, that whole section, that would have been great to end on. Like, I love when you have that whole, it's what a lot of charismatic leaders do in cults, is they reiterate something over and over and over. And while you were speaking, you were very Jim Jones-ish. While you were speaking, you had this cool and this, but there's a slight hint of evil, but still I'm a good guy sort of deal. Like, I was really, really digging it. Like, if you would have cut it right there, I would have been like, loved it. Never, it's kind of like how Joey was saying, never get hung up that you have to say something, especially if you're feeling it. Don't get caught up that you have to add this other thing, because sometimes just feeling it and cutting it where you're feeling it is the best how you're gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly. What I was just thinking right now was, right, that's what we always say, less is more. I remember I was in a match, Shane Douglas was the agent, and whatever, I don't know who the hell I was wrestling, but I super kicked the guy, and the crowd just explodes. I go for the cover. He kicks out. We go through our sequence. We go home. He comes to the back. He goes, "Why the fuck wasn't the super kick your finish?" And I said, "Well, because that wasn't the finish." And he was like, "But it should have been the finish." And I was like, "No, but we, in our head, right?" At the time, I thought in my head, no, because if the super kick was going to be popped, I knew in my head that the finish was going to be even better, right? But sometimes just you take what you got and just go with it. Save that last line for the next promo. So now you're not a repetitive promo guy. You know what I mean? That less is more is so important, right? Have you ever watched like Jim Jones or David Koresh or anybody like that? You should get on it. I mean, you should probably. I mean, don't turn all nuts on us, but but yeah, not bad. Let's get that timing down. Let's get that line down. We should never mess up our line, especially on your level. And then less is more. Let's think about that when you're feeling it. You got to really feel it. I like your eyes, everything like that. So not a bad job, but yeah, let's fix those things.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Who's up next?
I'll go.
Pete. Is that Pete?
Yes.
All right, Pete. Here we go.
Hi, I'm the Encyclopedia Pete Traris, and along with my tag team partner, Jefferson Alonzo Green, a.k.a. The Jag, we do a daily YouTube show called Make Me a Fan. Now, Jag's only come back to wrestling in the last year. I've watched about 40,000 hours of wrestling, so my job is to make sure to find all the best matches to make Jag a fan of all these different wrestlers, different federations, and different eras. So come along with us and watch Make Me a Fan every day at 9 a.m. And we're about to play right about now.
Not bad. You were under time. Let me ask you, did you read it? No way. Yeah, I was gonna say after we just got on Birdman, no way. I dug it. I dug the promo, for the podcast. I thought it was good. I would say command it more is what I'm gonna say. How slow down, right? I'm gonna say first of all, I think if you can command it more by just slowing down a little bit. What do you think, Robby and Ruby?
Not bad. It sounded like, again, yeah, slow down, but it sounded more like a commercial than a promo. Like you were trying to sell me something rather than tell me a story. I think if you would have told me a little story on it, I would have been right there with you the whole time. After a while, I was just like, oh, it's like a commercial on my TV. Let me change this.
What was that? There was like a Micro Machines commercial at one given point where the guy was talking really fast and talking about the Micro Machines. Like that's what it reminded me of. It was completely too fast. For me, I couldn't follow the story, or I couldn't follow. There was something about you've been watching a lot more wrestling than your friend has, and it was very Micro Machines fast. And I have no sense of who you are after hearing that. It was like Robby said. It's pretty much a commercial. Were
you nervous, Pete?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no way. Even though you do the podcast and everything.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. I mean, because we could see that. So let's keep working at it so we can get that nervousness out of you, especially if you're going to be doing a podcast and stuff to get you really feel comfortable. Let me ask you this though. When you do your podcast, are you nervous when you do your podcast and talking?
Oh no, hell no, no. We literally are laughing about it. I go and flip the camera on and we just do it. Like when it comes to that environment, like if we're recording like that, that's a different gear. And it's just, I've done it for 20 years. So I know how to do it. And it's just like, okay, and now we're recording.
So let's try to tap into that a little bit more, right? And I know it's different, right? Because we're all here, we're live, right? We're listening to you. Okay, go ahead and do it, and then we're going to critique it right after. But let's work on getting that comfortability. So if we have to, every time we come to class, and this could go for everybody, if every time we got to come to class, let's have you cut a promo. Let's get that nervousness out of you, because then there's going to be another nervousness when we do it live or do it at a show. Maybe it's at a show behind the scenes or backstage, as opposed to live in the ring in front of fans. Like, so let's work on getting that nervousness out of you, so we can really tap into what you can do. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, it's just those nerves really just hitting you. And I didn't think that you would be nervous, but that's why I had to ask you, because you did sound definitely nervous. And when you're nervous, you start going really fast, and because you just want to get it done. You just want to get out of there. Let's slow down. And the key is, like, let's slow down also, because if you are that nervous, man, chances are they're gonna make you do it again. And if you're that nervous, you probably just want to go do it once and then be like, "Whoo, get it off of me." But yeah, so let's go ahead and we'll help you working on that. Let's get that nervousness out of you, and then so that way we can really start peeling the onion behind what your promo is, and not peeling the nervousness out of there. Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Who's next?
I'll be going next.
All right, Javier. Let's see it.
All right. Oh, Daddy. Oh, Daddy. The spotlight is on. The camera is rolling. Dante Rey's blood is pulsing. My heart is beating. What does that exactly mean? The kitchen isn't cooking enough flavor, and I'm here to bring that flavor to you. Now, what does that exactly mean? The suave savior is here to save you, and I just did you a favor by telling you who I am. You're welcome.
What was our time, Ruby?
26.5 seconds.
Okay, 26 ain't bad. I thought he went a little too under, but I guess you're right there. Let me see. Robby, you want to start with this one, Robby?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
First, you started tripping me out with that old daddy. I don't know where you were going with that.
It didn't sound like Dusty Rhodes. Let me tell you something, Daddy.
No, it sounds something else. Like, once you started saying "oh daddy," I started looking at Dom. I was like, that sounds like something Dom would say. But no, once you started rolling, you were good. I would say slow down. Once you started rolling, you just kept going, and I think that's why you came about 4 seconds under. If you'd have slowed down, you said 36, right?
No, 26 seconds. 26.
Yeah, so he was 4 seconds under.
No, we're going for 45 seconds.
Well, okay.
Well, 30 to 45, right?
Yeah.
I guess, okay. So by that, you know, hey, as long as we got time to say, we're going to go to commercial right now, as opposed to get cutting off, right? Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I think just slow down. Because I think at some point when you started rapping or getting your roll, you started slurring a little bit, and I was like, huh? But then you caught on at the end. So I would just say slow down. Slow down.
Gotcha.
What do you got, Ruby?
Let's feel it more, because I know for a fact when I say "oh daddy," it's usually "oh daddy." Even if you're saying these lines. Oh, did I get you, Robby? I'm sorry. Oh daddy. I mean, if you're gonna say it, if you're gonna say a line like "oh daddy," like you gotta feel it. Like you was saying, you can't just say it. You know, you had a moniker in there, and I'm gonna forget what it was. But you gave yourself this moniker, and you ain't even feeling the moniker. You feel like it feels like you're bored already. Like, you know, who are you? What was the line that you gave yourself?
What line specifically? Like,
you tell us the line. It was in the middle. You said, like when you were describing who you were.
Oh, okay. So I said what I said, right? I don't even want to say it anymore. I said what I said. I said what I said, and then right after I was like, "Why am I here? There's not enough flavor being cooked in the kitchen." So I'm here to bring that flavor to you, and I just did that favor for you, so you're welcome.
Well, okay, so you're saying these things
kind of
about
summarize
yourself.
it because I can't remember exactly how I said it word by word, but
I feel like you gave yourself a moniker somewhere in there, and I'm forgetting what it was, and you're gonna watch it on the playback. But there was when you're saying even those lines right there, you need more conviction about what you're saying. You know, I gave you this. You know, you gotta feel it. Like you're, in my opinion, this is you putting yourself over as your gift to professional wrestling. You're a gift, but you're just rushing over it and you're just kind of glazing over it. You gotta really feel that if you're the gift to professional wrestling, let me know and how you say it.
It for me, I thought Hobby. I thought it seemed too rehearsed. I think that was my biggest takeaway from it, is that it just seemed too rehearsed. Practice it some more. Practice it until it doesn't feel rehearsed, until it's unconscious competence in cutting your promo. So it's so how many times did you rehearse it at all?
No, this is something I just thought of it right off the bat.
So maybe when you were saying it, you weren't confident enough. So let's just talk over and over. Cut these promos, right? They don't have to be the same. They can have the same bullet points, right? We don't want them to be exactly the same either, because you're gonna say stuff, and when people pop, and then I'm gonna say this. Hey, maybe the "Oh Daddy" line fell fucking short right now. I'm pretty sure there's something in your head that we're not seeing. Don't just throw it away just yet. Try to figure out the way you want to make it. It still might not work, but don't be so quick to throw it away yet. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I don't know if necessarily. Let me tell you something, Daddy. Without Dusty saying it for so many years, would sound cool to me right now. You see what I'm saying? So let's not immediately throw it away. I don't know if it's gonna work, but maybe just see if you can get across what you were trying to do. Let's practice these promos over and over. When I say practice, practice the sayings, so you know it. So Ruby says, "What you're saying?" "Oh, I said this, man." So let's practice the sayings, even if it's not the entire promo. Like when you're talking to your friends, this is what you just say your line, say who you are, throw it out there, let it become comfortable. You know what I mean? So that way you don't ever mess it up. But yeah, so not bad. I mean, because for the first promo I've ever heard from you, just getting out there and doing it.
And I'll be honest, I haven't really worked on anything that's related to promos. I'm still working on what movesets we're going to be doing in the ring. I'm kind of having little post-it stickers all over my wall to see, as you guys mentioned with the levels. But I definitely feel that I need to work on the promos for sure. Because coming into this, I'm I feel so much energy within me. I feel like I just took some pre-workout or something.
So
and I'm just holy shit,
yeah, so let's definitely continue.
Excited for it. I'm not scared about it, but I definitely see a lot that I need to work on.
Yeah, so let's watch 50 more promos between now and the next class. Let's watch these speakers that Ruby's talking about. And man, you got like I was talking about, you got influential speakers like Les Brown and Gary Vee and Tony Robbins, and then you got your cult speakers like your Jim Jones, David Koresh's, I was gonna say Marilyn Manson, Charlie Manson. But yeah, you should be listening to these people to see how they command the attention. So let's start doing that. More homework putting in, right? Just because it's good enough, it can be better, right? So let's keep pushing. And you gotta, and this goes for everybody. You gotta feed your mind, guys. You got to start watching these promos. What's going to work? Hey, maybe you can come back and say, hey, this is what I did. And it could be none of the suggestions that we made, and we're going to go, fuck, that's a great idea. I'm going to start telling the students to do that. So really getting outside that box and thinking about what you can do to help your character and really refine your character. So thank you, Javi. I think we have time for at least definitely one more. Do we have another person ready to rock and roll?
I'll go for it.
All right.
I don't know if refs cut promos, but if anything,
oh hell yeah! Yes, they do.
I've been trying to find some, but
Hey, my friend, we just talked about the photographer becoming a world champion, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. So come on.
All right, here we go. My name's John Nelson, and I'm the newest ref here at Santino Bros. And I get it. I'm a referee. You guys don't want to hear from me. So I'm going to only say this once. The rules will be respected. Professional wrestling will be respected. I can count on it.
Hey, I really dug it. It just was incredibly short. When you actually started speaking, you were like, I don't know if that line was good or not when he said you don't care what I have to say, because I was thinking, maybe I don't care what you have to say. But then when you actually commanded my attention and said, listen, but I'm the referee and these rules are going to be respected, I really dug that. I think let's add, right? So that could be your go-to. Let's add a bit of a story in front of it, like maybe somebody that's not respecting the rules or something like that. What did you think, Robby?
Same thing. You know, I went with him right when he's like, "Hey, I'm a referee. I know you don't want to hear what I got to say." And then he went and he got my attention. I was like, "Okay, I will listen to you." You know, and you went on, and just a little short. Maybe, you know, a few more things. You know, not bad though. Not bad at all for a referee cutting a promo at all. Just more confidence.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
more
you.
confidence. Tell me a story about maybe what it takes to be an official. I don't know. You know, what did you think, Ruby?
There was definitely a good presence command when you actually did start, you know, these are the rules. I never gave an Iggy, or Joey never gave an Iggy that you were even at 30 seconds, but eventually you're going to start to feel when you're going short. And here would be my thing. If I am a new person and I am showing myself to the pro wrestling world for the first time, the rules will be this, the rules will be that. I am Ref John Nelson, trained by the Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy. You will not do shenanigans in my ring. I don't know, something else. But, you know, you want to tell us who you are. You have these principles. Now tell me who you are and why should I respect this from you?
Yeah, because you had that line like, hey, I'm the referee who, like, no one wants to listen to me, but you should, then you start commanding it, respecting wrestling, or respecting the rules, respecting pro wrestling, and then you could even add, I am the rules, and you will respect me. You know what I mean? So you went from taking us kind of like, why the fuck should we listen to this guy? And then you can hook us all the way in and say, oh shit, we have to respect the referee because we train so hard and we don't want the referee to screw us or throw the match out or whatever. You know what I mean? I think that would have really worked for you. So not bad for, like I said, hey, for a referee, right? I couldn't even think about what I would say, but I guess we kind of peeled it apart a little bit and helped you out. So definitely I think you got something there. Always the referees, right? You got your little Natches and you got your referees that kind of do stuff. You know what I mean? So if you can practice this and right, be more than just a referee, you know what I mean? It's going to help you out in your wrestling career, because then you're going to be like, who is that referee? Name something White. And they had
Tim White,
and they had him at the vignettes at the bar and stuff like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? If he couldn't do it, they were just going to be like, you ain't got a spot. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was over or not, but hey, man, that was probably a highlight in his career for sure. You know what I mean? So the more you can do, the better. But yeah, not bad. Not bad. Good job. But let's just let's get on time, because then otherwise we're going to have to send somebody else out there. But I got to be honest, shorter is definitely better than going over. 100%. 48 seconds, 50 seconds is bad because we don't even get to hear the end of it. What was he at, Ruby? I think it says here 20 seconds. 20 seconds. You're only short about 10, really. Like, we want to go 30 to 45. Right, that's where at least my head was 30 to, you want to hit 30, don't go more than 45. You know, that's how much time we have, so not bad. I think we still have time for one more. Has anybody else got it? Who's got something?
Can I go?
Hell yeah, you can go. Who is this?
Show.
Oh, Richie fucking Coy. All right.
All right, let's go. There we go. Oh, wakey, wakey, sleepyhead. Bedtime may be over, but your dreamboat is still here. I'm really glad to see you're awake. I gotta tell you something. You see, my old flames used to say I was a dog, which I think they were just trying to compliment my great sense of smell. Because right now, I'm picking up the distinct smell of a liar. See, this is a wake-up call to all the fake Raggedy Anns of the world, that a real one is coming. I'm Richie Coy, and if you don't believe me, Just watch.
Ruby, I'm gonna let you take this one first. This fucking Richie Coy. Did he just wink at me? All right, what did you think, Ruby?
I actually really enjoyed it. It's not the average promo that I don't know where you went. Okay, you're somewhere. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting. But it was still good nonetheless. You had fun with it, and I absolutely adored that. Your go home line, I enjoyed. My only thing is, I know you did take your time, but you had this whole moment about your nose and the breath. I would absorb that moment more and milk that moment more and make it mean something. And don't just like, something. Give it a little bit more. That was like a definitely dope moment. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you definitely had the time. What did you have him at? I had him at 41 seconds. Okay, 40 seconds. All right, so I thought it was good, Richie. I thought that. Let me ask you: Is you meant to wear that robe in this promo?
Yeah.
Or is that what you hang out in? Okay, because it definitely matched for me what you were saying. Okay, I dug it, man. I thought it was good. I think right, everyone's promo doesn't have to be serious, right? We need these different characters in wrestling, right? We need different realms, just the same way when we watch any kind of movie or television show, you have that, I definitely dug the character, right? Because you need that offset character. If you can't have two, like everyone's serious, you know what I mean? What did you think about it, Robby? What did you think about Richie Coy?
Good promo, great promo. I dug it. Two things was, like Ruby said, he was having fun with it. Other thing was, you can tell as you were talking, you were believing the shit you were saying. And that's important, because as you're believing it, I'm like, fuck is this guy? But I'm listening to what you're saying because you're believing your shit. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's got something to say. And then, yeah, your tagline at the end, great. You had me hooked.
So good job, Richie. Good job on that one. Let's go ahead and practice. And same thing for you. I'd like you to go ahead and cut some promos and send them to us. Let's keep it going, right? You shouldn't only be doing the homework when we ask all the time, right? I think that was the biggest takeaway for today's class, was putting in the more that matters is the more that count. We don't want to be good enough. It shouldn't be in our vocabulary. So I want you to start practicing. That goes for everybody here. Let's start. Hey, bombard us with these videos. Whether we get back to it or not, bombard us with it. Stay on us, right? It's the same way you're going to get bookings, right? They're going to send you a message. Hey, they never got back to me on that promo. Follow up. Same thing on trying to get booked. You're going to have to follow up. So it's also going to teach you networking and stuff like that. Because I know there's some people that send me promos. Get back on me. You know what I mean? Get back on me. But yeah, it goes for everybody. Let's send these promos to our coaches, even your peers. Hey, what do you think about this? Do you think the coach is going to like it? And it's not even about us liking it. It's about the fans of wrestling liking it, liking what you do. You know what I mean? Really connecting with those fans. Because I think that's going to be the bottom line in professional wrestling, especially at the levels that most of us want to go. Those promos are going to really help us take it there. We do everything in the ring because it's fun and because we love it. But those promos are going to put us in the main event spot. It's going to put us in the spots that have a lot of vignettes, the storylines. Those are the ones that we watch as wrestlers, and all we have is a match. And we look at those segments and storylines and vignettes and go, damn, I want one day that to be me. And you should be striving for that, right? So everybody, like in here, I don't know, Rob and Ruby, who do we think was the best one today? I mean, I think.
Do we just get to choose one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose Artorias.
That's what I was thinking too. He had it. I should say that. Who are you gonna say, Robby?
I was exactly gonna say that, Artorias.
Artorias, right? I really like the moment in Artorias' promo where he took off the hood. It definitely was a moment, because if he didn't think this guy meant business, now he does. You know what I mean? So really good job at that, Will. But what do they say? the wolf at the top of the mountain is never as hungry as the wolf at the bottom of the mountain. And that should be everybody else trying to get there and get better. And that should eat your heart out that we're saying Wills was the best one today. You got to be like, fuck that. You know, I'm going to be better next time. Hey, I love you, Will. All respect, Will, but I'm going to be better than you next time. And you know what I mean? That's that competitive spirit that you need to have 100% in everything you do in professional wrestling. You know, it just goes back to there's a lot of motherfuckers working really hard, man. Don't get left behind. Never should be good enough. Okay, so, hey, I think we're at 8 o'clock. I thought this was a really great class. I tried to get started earlier instead of doing introductions. I know we took a lot of time on introductions, and I didn't know if my internet was gonna bust out on me. So I thought this was a really great class. We're gonna pick it for those that we didn't get a chance to do the promo. We're gonna pick it up on Monday, and Hyde and everybody that we said we're gonna try it again. Let's get a promo again. And I want if you didn't get a chance, that means you didn't speak up quick enough. Same thing about being in that ring. When they say get in the fucking ring, somebody jump in. Be the first one to jump in. Robby should be kicking you out of the ring. So same thing here. It's also that work ethic that teaches you or lets promoters know how bad you want it. You know what I mean? You know, when they say who wants this and everyone looks around, don't be looking around for nobody. Hey, we got to take care of ourselves in the business. So get yours. Get your promo in there. Get your critiques in there. Don't hold back. And I know, because I know what it feels like. You're just kind of like, oh, well, let me wait for them to call on me. Man, have your shit ready and speak up for yourself, right? It goes back to how do I get booked? It's networking, speaking up, talking. You know what I mean? You're not going to always have someone looking out for you. And that's why I say those fake environments about like, oh, the wrestling school gets me all these bookings. Man, you gotta do it for yourself. Okay, so let's speak up. Let's do the homework. Let's watch 50 fucking promos between now and Monday. And 50 promos ain't a lot. 50 promos should be what, 100 minutes, 120 minutes, 2 hours worth of fucking promos? That's not even a lot. All right, so let's get that done. Let's follow up on characters to watch, reading books, the characters that Ruby brought up, right? Let's watch some of these cult characters. And see the way they speak, because they do command that from people. Jim Jones, if you don't know who that guy is, he made, I don't know how many people, hundreds of people drink this poison, and they all died. They believed him. You know what I mean? How was he able to do that? You should watch him. And right, we don't want you to get crazy or nothing, but we want you to see what his tones were, right? We're thinking outside the fucking box. We're studying, right? Good enough is not enough. All right, guys? All right, let's bring it in. Let's bring it in. Here we go. Good class today. Thank you guys for joining us. All right, Robby, bring us out, my friend.
Santino's on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Santinos! All right, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, everyone.
Be safe out there.
Thanks, guys.
California just put the mask code back out there, so get your mask back on.
Yes.
And let's definitely stay safe, guys. I'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Joey, I have a question.
Yes, Lindsay, go ahead.
Well, actually, for all three of you. Hi, Joey, Robby, and Ruby. Me and like Mondo and Edwin and Tony, like we literally like talk every day about like our characters and different things. But I feel like we're also indecisive, and I feel like there's just like a few kinks, especially for like characters, you know, to help us like come more alive in the ring. And I was just wondering if any of you guys had time to maybe like do a Zoom with us for like 30 minutes to an hour to just kind of maybe like help us get more on a direction so we can like get the ball rolling and make, you know, vignettes or cut promos like as our characters.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and reach out to us on a group text or a group message. Let's say it's time that we can all get it together. And then let's make sure that these guys come into these classes, because all the pointers we give here also definitely help out, and we can definitely help you out here too. So let's get everybody on a group message. And like I said, same thing for everybody else. Hey man, if you need some time, you can get to talk, hit me up. I'll try to make some time to do a Zoom with you guys, because I just definitely like seeing your face and talking to you in person. I hate talking on the phone, to be honest.
Makes sense. I feel it.
Yeah, so let's in a Zoom. Let's talk to us. Let's get a time that we can all do it, and yeah, we'd love to do it.
Yeah, I've actually had a couple of people hit me up and reach out to me for anything from match critiques to just talking wrestling. So I'm down for something like that. You tell me a day of the Zoom, and I'll be on the Zoom.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like, well, me too, except for like right now, you know, we can be like a little intimidated, I guess, to like, you know, get your guys' opinions because like we really respect your opinions. So I just wanted to do this first and just ask you guys. So I appreciate it. And does like Instagram direct message work? Do you guys prefer like text message or Facebook?
Instagram or Facebook, it works for me, whichever.
Yeah, Instagram or Facebook. I'm gonna probably tell you, hit me up on Facebook and say there's a message in your Instagram, and I'll find it. Yeah, but yeah, I'll be on the lookout for it anyway this week though. So that,
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice seeing your faces. Bye, Coach.
All right.
Bye.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend. Take care, guys.
Sorry, Coach. I'm sorry. Would you mind just one quick question?
Yeah, absolutely.
In regards to go home lines, I've noticed no matter how good a line is, time and repetition tends to make it go stale. At what point should you cut a line because it's been said over and over again? At what point should you sort of hang on to it?
You know, I don't know if it really does go stale, man. I love Stone Cold's The Bottom Line. You know, I think when other people probably use like somebody's line, then it gets stale. But if it's yours, I'm not so sure if it really does, man. The Rock, all day, hey, I'm waiting for that. If you know what The Rock is cooking, you know what I mean? I want him to talk about Jabroni Drive and turn that some bitch sideways and stick it up your candy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm waiting. It's kind of like, man, I heard 9 Inch Nails played once, and they ain't even play their song "Fuck Me Like an Animal." And I was like, man, you gotta play your fucking hits, man. You gotta fucking play your hits, and that's what I think. Like when we're watching promos, man, saying those lines, especially for The Rock or Stone Cold, man, those are your hits, man. These are the ones that fucking brought you to the level, right? Don't we hate going to a concert and these guys just sing their new album, and you're like, come on, man, give me the fucking hits. I went to Kid Rock and he sung 2 songs from his new album, and everything else was the hits, and it was like that's what you're supposed to do it. But yeah, that's what I think. I'm not so sure it goes in stale. What do you guys think, Robby and Ruby?
I don't think it does at all. It's like one of those things where once you keep saying it, and then once you get known, and you do your live interviews or you do your interviews or your promos, and the crowd starts saying your shit, it's not stale. It keeps it going. So yeah, I don't think it gets stale at all if you use it correctly as well and wisely.
And if you look at it like The Rock just kept coming up with stuff, like just new stuff, like, right? Did he say something about the hotel or the motel or something like that? Yeah, he just had so much stuff. What's your take on it, Ruby?
I'm going to echo exactly what you two said. And if at some given point that you feel that your go-home line is getting stale, there will be other ways to get into it. So if you smell what The Rock is cooking, if you smell, there's so many other things to do with it. It's all about emphasis and your delivery. If you're going to say it in the same tone every single time, then yeah, maybe it can get redundant, but that's where you have inflection, and that's where you have like meaning, where you could put character into that line.
Yeah, and it's just like, think about it like a finishing move. There's going to come a time where you might maybe want to change it up, and that's fine. That doesn't mean you have to get rid of that move. Now that move becomes a false finish. You can now add that line in your promos. You know what I mean? Now, you don't even have to hit it every time, but it could be something that you say. You know what I mean? So
yes, sir.
I hope that helps you out. Does that help you?
It does. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I think the fans will let you know if it ain't work, right? The way Javi was like, oh, daddy, that's fuck that. I don't want to say that shit no more. You know what I mean? I don't know. Hey, maybe. But if they're talking about you because of that "oh, daddy" line, was it bad? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Sometimes we go and no one talks about my match and that's it. Hey, but if they're talking about you because of that "oh, daddy" line, hey, I don't know. Yeah. You know, right? Bad publicity is still good publicity, I guess, or not. Embarrassing publicity. I don't know. So, but yeah, I wouldn't worry about trying to throw it away, because I see Rock and Stone Cold with all these lines that really help them get through with their promos. So, cool. All right, guys.
Well, I want to take a quick second on just now that I have you guys here. Everybody at once, all the coaches are here. I just want to take a quick second on thank you on listening to me. I know it was terrible, but from here on out, like whenever I'm asking you guys questions or whenever you guys give feedback to me, don't hold back on anything. I know a lot of people tend to be kind of like sensitive on things, but you know, on me, just be all out with me and just tell me how things really are going. Because I feel like that would help me infinitely more than someone just being nice to me and telling me in a nicer
100%.
tone.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm afraid of you.
100%.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
I
It's
ain't
just
holding back.
in the world that we live in today, everybody seems to be like on the emotional side, and I just want to take that away.
Well, I
really
don't think that's something that you got to worry about here at Santino Brothers, because I think we'll say it out loud and yell it, and we hope every coach does it also. Is that's the secret to our success, is telling you how it is, right? Good wrestlers want to be left alone. Average wrestlers want to be coached. Great wrestlers want to be told the truth. You know what I mean? So, and I think that, right, and it does nothing for you when we bullshit you, right? And it's because we have our name on you also. So that's what we're thinking about, just making you the best. I think there's sometimes when I see, hey, we say some shit to people and it really put them down. We see that, and then we come over, put our hand on your shoulder and say, hey, dude, we don't hate you. We just want you to be better. And when we say, when we're grading you, we're grading you as watching Monday Night Raw. How did the guy on Monday Night Raw cut the fucking promo? We're not grading you on baby fucking wrestling school shit. No, we're grading you with the fucking what we think we should see on a Monday Night Raw scenario. So sometimes that's what makes it easy for us to stay harsh. And we're not trying to be harsh. It's just we're just trying to keep you. Hey, we're grading you as far as Daniel Bryan's promo, man. He was just on SmackDown, whatever the case is. And then so if you're thinking about that, working to that curve, that's going to make you better as opposed to working to the low curve on the wrestling school.
So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate everything. I hope you guys have a nice day.
Cool. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Robby. Thank you, Ruby.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
guys.
your help.
Thank you.